Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS, the rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. And shalom to all the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I just wanted to go into a little quick lesson, going into this article. It says, Air Force General predicts war with China in 2025. Tells officers to prep by firing a clip at a target and aim for the head, which this officer is from the United States, which is, it says down here in the first paragraph. A 4-star Air Force general sent a memo on Friday to the officer he commands that predicts the U.S. will be at war with China in 2 years and tell them to get ready to prep by firing a clip at a target and aim for the head. Right, I'm gonna read the next one. It says, in the memo sent Friday and obtained by NBC News, General Mike Menahan, head of Air Mobility Command, said, "I hope I am wrong. My gut tells me, we'll fight in 2025." Yeah, that meant we'll fight. But we know that this is all according to prophecy, because we know that America will be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 9, starting at verse 1 and 2. It says, verse 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right, which we're going to see different things coming upon that the scriptures prophesied about, which we're seeing now. We're seeing the MOTB coming into play, the CBDC, coming into play. We're seeing these nations gearing up. America's entering into that conflict, by sending and aiding Ukraine with different supplies, tanks, military hardware, different things. We seeing these things coming to pass. And these are all the things that the Lord had commanded us to do. But commanded that was going to happen. And this is what the Lord commanded us to do, to prophesy these things to happen. So with them predicting that there'll be a war with these other nations, with China, with Russia, we know that this is all according to biblical prophecy, because we can go and pull it up in the scriptures. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, so these are all the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because we know that there will be a third world war, and we know that the other nations will all be involved into it. It won't just be certain nations or anything. It'll be all these nations involved into it, because the Lord's his purpose is to destroy this place, to destroy America. Just let me see where it's at. Going to where he was going to gather the nations. I think it's chapter 16 actually. Let me see. No, it's actually it's chapter 15. Let me see. Second Ezra 15. Let's see. Repay those things. Second Ezra 15 and 20. It says, behold, saith the Lord, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, I will call together all the kings of the earth, meaning the heads of these kingdoms, these nations, to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, which the rising of the sun is the west, from the south, from the east, and Lebanese, to turn themselves one against another, which is to fight, you know, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the things that they have done to them. Salakia, the east, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, rises in the sun. But it said, and to repay those things which they have done unto them, which to them is the nation of Israel, you know, the elect. Because all these nations took part in the slave trade. They took part in Esau, Edom's empire, especially coming up against Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the chosen people, as said in Psalms, the 83rd chapter, Psalms 83. Verse 21, it says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, which is this day unto this present time, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, saith the Lord. Which we know the Lord is going to get some revenge. He's going to avenge us and get some payback on all these nations, which, you know, they're all working under Esau Edom's, you know, rulership. This is his empire. His, you know, he's in control of the earth, but they're all in lead. They're all in part, which I'm going to get Psalms 83 just to go ahead and prove it. This is Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Right. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 6. Because who is all these talking about? It says the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes. Edom, which is the so-called white man. Ishmael, which is so-called Arabs. Moab, so-called Chinese, which, going back to that article, that's who we said America is going to be in war with. The Hagarenes, which is a tribe of the so-called Africans. Ham, you know, go back to the Canaanites. Gebal, Ammon, which is so-called Japanese, and Amalek, which is the head of Esau, Edom. Amalek being the fake Jews in the land. And the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, going back to the so-called Africans. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. So all these other nations are in league with the so-called white man, you know, with bringing us to our downfall and destruction, keeping us destroyed state of mind, and also everything that they have done to us. All these other nations that they have done, you know, because they've taken part in Esau Edom's empire, and a part of his empire being established is the nation of Israel being at the bottom. These other nations have taken part. So with these nations going to war, this is all you're talking about. This is all you hear about, which I'm going to get this in Matthew 24. This is Matthew 24:7. It says, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things must come to pass. These things must happen. The MOT to the B is going to happen. You know, that great reset that they trying to do, where the American dollar would be completely wiped away. It'll be a CBDC, where you have to take the charagma, you know, the charagma. All of that is going to come before the thermonuclear missiles actually destroy this place. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That goes into 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 as well. But like it said, kingdom against kingdom, which is nation against nation, which we read in 2nd Ezra 15, where it said, he will call the kings of the earth together to reverence him and turn them against each other. And this is what we seeing. You know, this is why these countries are saying they're going to be at war. And they put a time on it. They put a date on it. But we're really on the Lord's timing, you know, because all this can happen this year. You know, the Lord's will it do. We're waiting on the Lord. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour out upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Right, the fire of his jealousy is going into all the judgments, the thermonuclear missile. So all these, so that which is going to be a third world's war, but it said he's going to assemble the kingdoms. He will gather the nations to pour out upon them his indignation, even all his fierce anger. And I'm going to get this in Revelations because, like I said, it's going to be a third world's war, like first World War I, World War II happened, and this is going to be World War III. And this third one is going to be fought with fire. So this is Revelations verse 9 and 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. Woe means destruction. And what it's talking about is World War III, world destruction. Because when you're at war, it's going to be death, destruction, and chaos. And it said it's going to be three of them. One woe is past, talking about World War I, and two more coming. Then you had a World War II. The whole world, these nations were at war with each other. So you had two more to come. And now this is Revelations 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. So we know we done already experienced, we done heard, we done seen, you can research it, World War I, World War II. And behold, the third woe coming quickly. World destruction, where the nations are going to fight against each other. This is what we seeing happening, being manifested on the earth. We're seeing it build up. And it's quickly coming, like it said, like the scripture said, and it comes quickly. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, meaning in the ancient world they actually fought with swords, bows, and arrows, different weapons of war in the ancient world. But in this modern world, in this modern war, it says, but this shall be with burning and with fuel of fire. Because what is the talk of today's? Nuclear, nukes. Third World War is going to be fought with nukes. All these countries have nuclear capability. So this is what we're seeing growing up. This is what we know is going to happen, all according to the prophecies. But, this is why that general said that, they feel like in 2025, it's going to be war with China. But, we ain't banking on 2025. We banking on the Lord's time. We banking on tomorrow, just how hastily we, ready to leave, because America being destroyed and these countries going to war is the deliverance of the nation, the elect of the nation of Israel, the beginning of the kingdom. As the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. And we finna see the end of this man's kingdom and the beginning of the nation of Israel, dominion and reign on the earth under Yahweh Yahweh Shah. So Lord willing, this short lesson was a edifying one. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honesty, apostles and elders of GMS that rule well, and peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word, sincerity, and the truth. Shalom.